I'm joined now by Senator Bernie Sanders, independent of Vermont, chair of the Senate Committee on Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions. Good to have you here.
Good to be with you.
I do think this, I've heard this from folks, wealthy folks. The antitrust, the tax stuff, the antitrust stuff, the worker stuff, they really don't like it. And people don't, I think, quite realize how aggressive this administration has been on all of those fronts.
Biden is the first president ever to walk on a picket line during a strike. That is a very significant symbolic act. Lena Khan at the FTC has been more aggressive in taking on corporate monopolies than we have ever seen.
Probably in 50 or 60 years.
I think that's right. Both parties have been absolutely negligent in breaking up monopolies. Biden wants progressive tax reform at a time of massive income and wealth inequality, when the effective tax rate of billionaires is lower than that of nurses and truck drivers. He wants, correctly, that the billionaire class stop paying its fair share of taxes. And you're right. At a time when we have so much greed out there, when the religion of the billionaire class is greed, they would rather give up democracy than take a hit.
That quote really struck me. The quote that we think Democrats are more of a risk to capitalism than Trump is to democracy.
It really is incredible. It shouldn't be shocking, really, but it is, knowing the history of the country over many years. But these guys are so greedy, so wedded to their wealth and their power, that they will do anything to keep that position. But the issue, and I'm glad you're focusing on it, because it's certainly not just Trump. I mean, Trump is just an outrageous example of selling out for money.
Yeah, he's a vessel for them. They don't.
He is.
He's
but
just
let's
there.
be clear. Let's be clear, Chris. We are the only major country on earth not to guarantee health care to all. Why?
Right.
You ever look at the amount of money the insurance companies and drug companies put into candidates? Unbelievably, at a time when everybody with a brain in his head understands that climate change is a threat to the planet, guess what? This guy Trump wants to deregulate the fossil fuel industry even more and destroy the planet. Why? All these guys are spending huge amounts of money.
You've also got this situation, which is, this has been the case. Money in politics in the U.S. has worked in all kinds of ways. But just reading that quote about Mellon writing the $50 million check and the super PACs, the Post-Citizens United, the amount that you can give, it really is a new thing.
It is. You're right. It's always been there. It has reached a new level. I just came from an event with Jamal Bowman up in the Bronx, and that's a perfect example of this. Bowman is a strong, progressive member of Congress who has spoken out on the horrific situation in Gaza, et cetera, et cetera. And they are saying to him, and this, by the way, what the Bowman situation is really, they're making a statement to all of Congress. You have the guts to take on neocon foreign policy. You want to take on the corporate interests that are so powerful. Tell you what's going to happen. You're going to lose. And that message goes all over Congress. You stand up for working class people, hey, your days are numbered. This is oligarchy, and it's an issue that we have got to focus on and deal with.
Yeah, that primary, which we noted, is the most expensive in American history already. There's been about $15 million spent by AIPAC, Associated Super PAC. Also, the crypto people have also gotten it, which has not gotten as much attention.
Right.
The crypto interests, and you saw what happened with Donald Trump says, I mean, it's just like as black and white as you can get. I like crypto now. Give me money. Right. And then the crypto people come out and they say, here's some money. Thank you for protecting crypto.
Absolutely. It's absolutely disgraceful. So, I mean, what do we have to do? I mean, first of all, it goes without saying that we have got to deal with Citizens United. We got to get rid of that. And second of all, we have got to do what many other countries around the world do, have public funding of elections. Look, you want to run against me, that's fine. But you don't have the right to have 50 times more money coming from rich people in order to defeat me. We should be debating ideas.
I saw a stat today, and I think this is correct, that, obviously in the UK, they're about to have an election. The amount of money spent on that election so far is less than the New York 16 primary. For the nation.
Right.
Across all parties. So we just do things in a totally different way. And again...
And it is getting worse. Your point is, and I want everybody to hear...
When you reduce it to this, yes.
Look. Billionaires are doing phenomenally well. They have never, ever had it so good. They got so much money that they're sitting there, hey, Let's start a super PAC.
Right.
Let's put $100 million. Let's beat that guy. Let's support that guy because we need more tax breaks. Hey, we're only worth $50 billion. Hardly going to get by. Corporate profits are soaring. This is an issue. Look, to anyone out there, we are not going to be able to do what we want to do, deal with climate change, guarantee health care to all people, have a tax system which is fair, make sure that our kids do not have the highest rate of childhood poverty of almost any country on earth. We're not going to be able to do any of that unless we take on a corrupt campaign finance system, which is what you're talking about.
You know, one of the things that's striking to me, too, and I don't know if you agree with me on this, but I also think it's short-sighted on the part of the business class. Because I actually think...
I don't agree with you.
You don't agree with it. No. I think that they are underestimating the tail risk of a Trump administration and what it would do. You think they're going to get... They're going to be all right?
I think that greed is so incredibly ugly and pervasive that these guys want it. They want more and more. I think they could care less about what's happening to the elderly, the children, the working class of this country. And I believe that they will do anything that they can to enrich themselves. And Trump is clearly their guy.
Senator Bernie Sanders, it's a pleasure to have you here in person.
Good to be with you.